We are going to see an interesting prose, Sir Isaac Newton, the Ingenious Scientist, written by Nathaniel Hawthorne. There are so many great people in the world, right? Now let's see some of them. Aristotle. Aristotle was one of the greatest philosophers who ever lived and the first genuine scientist in history. He made pioneering contributions to all fields of philosophy and science. Next, let's see about Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda was an inspiring personality and was famous in whole world. He was a spiritual leader and social reformer. His lectures, writings, letters, poems, ideas motivated not only youth of India but also whole world. He is the founder of Ramakrishna Mission and Bilur Math in Calcutta, which was still working towards helping the needy. He was the man of wisdom and a very simple human being. Next, let's see about APJ Abdul Kalam. APJ Abdul Kalam was an Indian aerospace scientist and politician who served as the 11th President of India from 2002 to 2007. He was born and raised in Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu, and studied physics and aerospace engineering. Next, let's see about Buddha. The Buddha was a philosopher, meditator, spiritual teacher and religious leader who lived in ancient India. He is the founder of the world religion of Buddhism and worshipped by most Buddhist schools. Next, let's see about Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was a German mathematician and physicist who developed the special and general theories of relativity. He is considered one of the most influential scientists of the 20th century. Next, we are going to learn about Plato. Plato is one of the most important figures of the ancient Greek world and the entire history of Western thought. In his written dialogues, he conveyed and expanded on the ideas and techniques of his teacher, Socrates. Next, we are going to learn about C.V. Raman. C.V. Raman was an Indian physicist. He studied light scattering. He won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1930 for his work in this subject. He discovered that when light passes through a transparent material, some of the deflected light changes in wavelength. Next, let's see about Socrates. Socrates was a Greek philosopher from Athens who is credited as one of the founders of Western philosophy and as being the first moral philosopher of the Western ethical tradition of thought. They are some of the great people in the world whom we know. Now in this lesson, we are going to learn one of the great person like them. He is none other than Sir Isaac Newton. Next, we are going to see about the author. Nathaniel Hawthorne was born on 4th July 1804 in Salem. He was an American novelist, dark romantic and short story writer. Here we can see the picture of the author Nathaniel Hawthorne. His works often focus on history, morality and religion. So what is meant by history? History is the study of the past. Morality means principles concerning the distinction between right and wrong or good and bad behavior. In other words, morality means correctness or goodness. Religion means the belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personal god or gods. In other words, religion means the belief or faith. So, his works often focus on history, morality, and religion. The biography of Sir Isaac Newton was published in Nathaniel Hawthorne's True Stories from History and Biography in 1851. First, we have to know what is meant by biography. Biography means a life history of a person written by someone other than the individual himself. Next, we have to know what is meant by autobiography. An autobiography is the story of one person's life written by that person. So, this prose, Sir Isaac Newton, the Ingenious Scientist, is the biography of Sir Isaac Newton, was published in Nathaniel Hawthorne's True Stories from History and Biography in 1851. Section 1. Read the following passage on Sir Isaac Newton. Let me read the first paragraph and later I will give you the explanation. On Christmas Day in the year 1642, Isaac Newton was born at the small village of Woolsthorpe in England. Little did his mother think, when she beheld her newborn babe, that he was destined to explain many matters which had been a mystery ever since the creation of the world. Here, beheld means observed or see something. Destined means certain or sure to happen. Mystery means something unknown. Creation means making something new. So, Isaac Newton was born on December 25th, that is Christmas Day, in the year 1642. He was born in Woolsthorpe, a small village in England. His mother had no idea that this baby that she held in her arms was going to explain many things which had been a mystery since the world began. Here, mystery means something unknown. Let me read the next paragraph. Isaac's father was being dead. Mrs. Newton was married again to a clergyman and went to reside at North Witham. Her son was left to the care of his good old grandmother, who was very kind to him and sent him to school. In his early years, Isaac was chiefly remarkable for his ingenuity in all mechanical occupations. Here, reside means live. Clergyman means a male priest or Christian priest. Chiefly means mainly or mostly. Remarkable means notable. Occupations means jobs. Ingenuity means the ability to invent things or creativity. Then Isaac's father was no more, so Mrs. Newton had remarried and moved to a place called North Witham. Then Isaac was left in the care of his old grandmother, who took good care of him. She was very kind to Isaac and helped him to study well. In his early years, Isaac was mainly notable for his ability to invent things in all mechanical occupations. He had a set of little tools and saws of various sizes manufactured by himself. With the aid of these, Isaac contrived to make many curious articles, at which he worked with so much skill that he seemed to have been born with a saw or chisel in his hand. So here, saw means a tool used for cutting wood or other hard materials. Chisel means a tool with a flat metal blade used to cut or shape wood, stone or metal. Manufactured means man-made. Contrived means created or invented. So, during his childhood, Sir Isaac Newton was well known for his originality and creative mind in all mechanical related works. He had a set of little tools, all made by himself, including saws of different sizes. With the help of these tools, Isaac created many strange articles which involved a lot of skill. It seemed like he was born with a saw or chisel in his hand because he was so skilled with tools. Here we can see the pictures of saws and chisels. Next, move on to the next paragraph. The neighbors looked with vast admiration at the things which Isaac manufactured, and his old grandmother, I suppose, was never weary of talking about him. He will make a capital workman. One of these days, she would probably say, no fear but what Isaac will do well in the world and be a rich man before he dies. Here, admiration means price, manufactured means man-made, weary means tired, capital means excellent, probably means likely. So, the neighbors looked at him with huge admiration when he produced things on his own. His grandmother was always praising him, and she never got tired of it. She had mentioned that he would be an excellent workman some day. She also said she did not doubt that Isaac would do well in his life and that he will become a rich man before he died. Let me read the next paragraph. Some of his friends, no doubt, advised Isaac's grandmother to apprentice him to a clockmaker, for besides his mechanical skill, the boy seemed to have a taste for mathematics, which would be very useful to him in that profession. Here, apprentice means works for someone to learn skills. Skill means ability. Profession means job. So, Isaac seemed to love mathematics apart from his mechanical skills. Hence, some of Isaac's friends told Isaac's grandmother to train him to become a clockmaker. He would apply his mathematical skills in the clockmaking profession. Now, let's move on to the next paragraph. And then In due time, Isaac would set up for himself and would manufacture curious clocks like those that contain sets of dancing figures which issue from the dial plate when the hour is struck, or like those where a ship sails across the face of the clock and is seen tossing up and down on the waves as often as the pendulum vibrates. Here, curious means eager, struck means hit, pendulum means a long thin bar that swings from side to side, vibrates means shake very quickly. So, as time progressed, Isaac started making clocks for himself. He made strange clocks. Some had a set of dancing figures which sprung out of the dial plate every time the hour struck, which means hit. He also made clocks where a ship sails across the face of the clock and showed the flowing up and down of the waves whenever the pendulum vibrated. Let me read the next paragraph. Indeed, there was some ground for supposing that Isaac would devote himself to the manufacture of clocks, since he had already made one of a kind which nobody had ever heard of before. It was set going not by wheels and weights like other clocks, but by the dropping of water. This was an object of great wonderment to all the people in the neighborhood, and it must be confessed that there are few boys or men either who could contrive to tell what o'clock it is by means of a bowl of water. Here, devote means spend a lot of time doing something. Manufacture means creation or making. Wonderment means great surprise. Confessed means accept. Contrive means create or invent. So, there were instances to believe that Isaac would dedicate his skills to make clocks. He had already manufactured a clock which nobody had heard of. He made the clockwork by drops of water. It did not have wheels or weights like a normal clock. So all his neighbors were amazed to see this object. There were some boys and some men who only tried to tell the time with the help of a bowl of water. Here we can see the picture of water clock made by Isaac Newton. Let me read the next paragraph. Besides the water clock, Isaac made a sundial. Thus his grandmother was never at a loss to know the hour, for the water clock would tell it in the shade, and the dial in the sunshine. The sundial is said to be still in existence at Woolsthorpe, on the corner of the house where Isaac dwelt. Here, in existence means being present. Dwelt means lived. So, after the water clock, he also made a sundial. A sundial is a device that tells the time of the day when there is sunlight with the help of the shadow based on the position of the sun in the sky. When it was night time, his grandmother found the time with the help of water clock, and during the day with the sundial. The sundial made by Isaac Newton can still be seen in Woolsthorpe, in a corner house where he lived. Here we can see the picture of Newton's sundial. It can be seen today in Woolsthorpe. Next, we are going to see the summary. Isaac Newton was born on Christmas Day in the year 1642 in England. His grandmother took care of him because his father was died, and his mother got married again to a clergyman. In his early years, he made many interesting articles like tools, saws, etc. He was appreciated by the neighbors. He had not mechanical skills but also a taste for maths. Isaac paid more attention to the manufacture of clocks, which would operate by the dropping of water. He also made a sundial. Shall we see some questions for your understanding? Question number 1. Who was taking care of Newton after his father's death? Newton's grandmother was taking care of Newton after his father's death. Question number 2. What did Isaac manufacture at his young age? At his young age, Newton manufactured little tools and saws of various sizes. Third question. When and where was Isaac Newton born? Isaac Newton was born at the small village of Woolsthorpe in England on Christmas Day in 1642. Question number 4. What was Isaac Newton remarkable for? Isaac Newton was remarkable for his ingenuity in all mechanical occupations. Question number 5. What would Isaac Newton's grandmother say about his creative ability? Isaac Newton's grandmother would say that Newton would make a capital workman. He would be a rich man before he died. I have enclosed the classwork instructions in the PDF. Kindly refer it. So now, we have reached the end of this session. Thank you.